The eShop sale right now is massive, so today got a bumper episode for you all at 20 games under $10 or your regional equivalent covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now sorry for missing last Thursday and Saturday's videos, I have been slammed, but it was a good problem for me to have. Job interviews, and I'm hoping something comes up here soon so we can get back to that usual schedule. Then on that note, it has been a while since I've done one of these under $10 videos. In fact, it's been like nearly 2 months at this point, so there's not going to be a giveaway winner this week. However, we are going to be getting back into the swing of things now. So to win a $10 eShop gift card voucher, drop a comment down below and the winner's going to be announced in next Thursday's video. Alright, do me a favor and subscribe, it helps out the channel a huge amount. Like the video while you're at it, and let's get into this. Trombone Champ is back with 45% off and matching the low price. This is a fantastic game for rhythm fans out there. Now while the game is more about entertainment value than necessarily mastering every single track, it is absolutely hilarious, as can be seen in my full review in the pinned comment. Basically here, think Guitar Hero but with less fine-tuned controls, and overall I had a blast playing it through. I found it constantly hilarious, and it even has multiple controller options, but if you're willing to give up the accuracy, I would definitely suggest motion controls, by far the most fun you can have. Axiom Verge 2 gets a new low price, 50% off. Now as a series, it's not famous for its huge discounts frequently, so if you're waiting for something lower, you could definitely have a wait ahead of you. That said though, if you do watch these videos, you most likely have a massive backlog like me that could keep you busy for a lifetime. However, it is as a game up there as one of the best Metroidvanias on the system, even if it's not quite as good as that first entry, and I think the main reason for that is, at least for me personally, just found this one a little tougher to get into. It just didn't quite hook me immediately. That said though, look, still a gem, and the story here follows Indra, a billionaire who finds an alternate Earth. It is crazy stuff but incredibly well done, and the gameplay is everything you would expect. Tight platforming, tense combat, and a whole host of upgrades to get you to that endgame, whether that's thanks to weapons, character abilities or stats. Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition is an incredible game from Annapurna Interactive. It's a point-and-click adventure, but it's just incredibly unique with its world building as you travel along a mysterious road. Now with this one, I don't want to give too much away, but it's a realist adventure spread across 5 acts. Now the less you do know going in, the better you're off. But let's see if this snippet from the eShop can at least tempt you. So at twilight in Kentucky, as birdsongs give way to the choir of frogs and insects, familiar roads become strange, and it's easy here to get lost. Now those who are already lost may find their way to a secret highway that winds through underground caves. Now the people who live and work along this highway, they are themselves a little strange at first, but soon they seem familiar. You know, the aging driver making the last delivery for a doomed antique shop, the young woman who fixes obsolete TVs surrounded by ghosts, the child and his giant eagle companion, the robot musicians, the invisible power company lurking everywhere, and then the threadbare communities who struggle against its grip. This one is 60% off, it's a new low price, highly recommended from me. Godstrike then honestly got mixed reviews, but I was somewhat a sucker for its punishment. On that note, it absolutely comes with a warning. Only head here if you want the ultra challenging. The second boss alone, I was trying over and over again. It's essentially a boss rush bullet hell experience with an isometric viewpoint, and it is just incredibly intense stuff. Now, I would highly recommend watching a full review for this one just to make sure you're ready for what's ahead. However, it's about as rewarding as they do get when you do finally overcome an encounter, and a favourite of mine was a tower that you need to cut down to size, and that was actually one of the game's early bosses. It is a new low price here, 87% off. Children of Zodiarcs is a hidden gem. It's back with 89% off, a new low price. Now this story-driven tactical RPG, it's set in a divided world where you'll command a group of outcasts navigating both the corrupt surface world and the dangerous underworld. Now combat is a highlight for this game, featuring a system based on cards and dice. Each character's abilities here are basically directly tied to these cards and dice. And yeah, basically the cards here represent abilities, the dice then determine the outcome, allowing for a real high level of customization for that team. You can learn about each team member's individual struggles then as well, and you can follow them on an adventure as they try to steal an ancient relic. It is full of unique ideas, so be sure to watch a full review first to ensure it's going to be the right game for you. So a massive thank you to Red Deer Games for sponsoring today's video with their latest release, Fit My Dog. Now this is a puzzle game with a canine spin. It's basically just made for me. I adore my dog, and any games that feature dogs, I am all over them. Now if you've played Fit My Cat as well, you may just know what to expect here. So picture this: cozy home, a giant dog bed, and a bunch of cute doggy pals all ready for a lazy day. But there is one catch: they all need to fit on the bed, and that's where your puzzle solving skills come in. So basically each level presents a variety of dog breeds from poodles to bulldogs, and they all need a spot to lounge. You must fit them in over 96 levels, and there's 27 different dog breeds. There is a ton of gameplay in here. So yeah, it's basically for sure ready to keep you locked in for a good while. So can you arrange them perfectly on the bed? That is very much the challenge of the game. Best of all then, it has a massive launch discount, 72% off, and you can find a link to the game down below. Check it out. Really supports the channel, also supports Red Deer Games directly, and yeah, once again a massive shout out to them as well. They are constantly supporting the channel, and I couldn't appreciate it more. A Little to the Left is now available at a new low price of 40% off. Now this game won't be for everyone, I say that because it wasn't for me. However, fundamentally there's nothing wrong with the game, and a lot of folks out there absolutely love it. For me, just too slow paced, but it's a chill experience where you're tasked with moving household objects into certain positions. Think of it as a very relaxed puzzle game. And yeah, I get the appeal, plus the devs actually constantly seem to be plugging in new content, including these new daily puzzles. Huntdown is 80% off and matching its lowest price. It's a retro run and gun experience. It gives the Warriors vibes thanks to its theme of being a bounty hunter hunting down gang members. Has a seriously good atmosphere with plenty of explosions, gore and neon, and it absolutely delivers on its influences. It also has a killer soundtrack as well. Now I've spoken to this one plenty of times over the years, so let's get on to that next one. Primordia or Primordia, I never quite know how to say it. Overall though, fantastic game if you're a fan of classic point and click adventure games like myself. Now it's no question on the shorter side, around 6 hours, but it has just the right level of challenge, and for me the nostalgia hits me in the feels, from the gameplay to the art style. Now the story, man no longer exists and the world is run by robots. You take on the role of an android that studies the Book of Man, almost a religion, but now things go wrong when a rogue robot steals your power supply and you need to go get it back. It's basically a case of survival. You can check out my full review in the pinned comment, but genre fans, I would jump in. We don't see it on sale often. In fact, it's only ever dropped once in price before. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch returns with an 80% discount. It's matching its lowest price ever, making it a great game worth checking out. Now personally, I've always preferred this original over the sequel. The second game is still very good, do not get me wrong, but there's something special about this one. It offers a more traditional RPG gameplay experience. Also, the involvement of Studio Ghibli in crafting its visuals and world is just a highlight. Now the story is quite touching as well. You enter a fantasy world after facing childhood trauma, which can definitely hit you in the feels. Overall, it's just a fun cast with a good sense of humour, which is surprising given that storyline. And yeah, while there are moments that you know may hit hard, it's still definitely, in my opinion, suitable for all ages. Could lead to some really good conversations. The gameplay then offers the usual RPG fare: quests, side quests, loot and combat. And the combat, I'm note, is mostly turn-based, but you do have free movement between each move, which I definitely liked from a strategic perspective. UNSIGHTED is here again, matching a low price with 60% off. It's a Metroidvania experience with roguelike elements, and it is really well done in all areas. Now, story-wise, your friends are turning into mindless killing machines after a needed resource starts to deplete. Now, get out there to save the day, and you can expect a whole host of upgrades, crafting and combat. The battle system as well, it's challenging, but you will get there. And it's basically a game where you need to master its parry system if you do want to get through it. I'd suggest a full review for this one, as there's a lot going on. But overall, a beautiful looking game that comes highly recommended from me. Particularly like the brutal timer that kicks in as folks around you are turning and you must make some real tough decisions. OTXO is a relatively recent release, and if you like Hotline Miami, this may be one of interest to you. Now, it doesn't have the one-hit kills for your character that you may be used to from that one, but the viewpoint, the violence, and the brutal difficulty, they are very much here. Now, how this one challenges you, however, is through its roguelike systems, and yeah, prepare here to try again. That said though, look, bosses are fun. I like the black and white visual style. The unusual characters you meet definitely dial up the intrigue, and it's 50% off a new low price. AI, the SOMNIUM Files is 80% off, one of my personal top games of the last few years. Now, Really enjoyed the sequel as well, but this one, it's an adventure experience where you're going to be playing as a special agent in future Tokyo on the case of a serial killer. It's got elements of almost think Phoenix Wright, but the crime scene investigation, but definitely more adult. It also embraces the futuristic with its world design, dream exploration, and just an incredible cast of characters. Stunning looking game as well. I picked it up honestly before I even knew anything about it. I just liked the cover art, took the risk, and yeah, it's absolute genius. This is a price point where everyone should be taking a look, or at least, giving it a consideration. Maybe go and watch a full review first, but yeah, incredible game. You're going to find it hard to, see a bad word about it. Paradise Killer is back matching its low price with 70% off. Now this game is high up on my list of favourite Switch games, truly unique, and my closest comparison, once again actually like the last game, be an open world vaporwave version of Phoenix Wright. The story is complex here, but fascinating. You live in a world inhabited by gods, plagued by demons every few millennia. To combat this, your society must move to a new planet each time this occurs. This actually requires, however, a council to relocate to a new site, and yeah, basically takes the whole town alongside them. However, disaster strikes on the eve of this move when the council members are murdered. Now you must uncover the truth behind what happened by exploring and interrogating the locals. You'll only get one shot at accusing a character, so make that decision wisely. I really, as well, transparently wasn't sure about the visual style at first, but I ended up loving it. I even own 2 soundtracks for this game. They actually released a remix on vinyl as well, and I picked them both up. So for me, this game is easily a must-buy. You can check out my full video review in the pinned comment below. Dodgeball Academia gets 60% off and matching its lowest price. I didn't expect much from this game as it seemed to come out of nowhere for me, but I was pleasantly surprised upon its release. It's a sports RPG that revolves around dodgeball. Now you play as Otto, a rookie dodgeball student, training alongside a team to become the ultimate dodgeball champions. Now over 8 episodes, you'll build friendships, create rivals, and develop your dodgeball team, all while exploring the academy and uncovering its hidden truths. Key features include an RPG-style story mode with main quests, side quests, and school minigames, and then there's a customizable party progression system, and of course, dodgeball matches with a unique action style. This game can even be played locally in competitive versus mode. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy is a game I haven't picked up in a while, but I reviewed it here on the channel, linked down below. It's a cool, classic 3D platformer that I loved personally. It is no question showing its age, but they did a real nice job here with the HD upgrade. Just really enjoyed the gameplay mechanics for this one. It's kind of a mix of platforming, combat, and puzzles, and they're just so creative because you can switch and change the different forms of that mummy. You can jump between the characters. You'll actually be jumping between them constantly as well. It's really making good use of that formula. Now that said then, it's 70% off, matching its lowest price, and I do think genre fans will really enjoy it. Considering it's 20 years since its original release, it's amazing how well it still stands up. But yeah, I'd love to see a reboot myself, but I do not see that happening. But yeah, go ahead and check out this original. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Complete Edition is back with 67% off, a fantastic classic side-scrolling beat-em-up that follows the narrative of the movie and novels of the same name to defeat the evil exes. It's unique though because it packs RPG features with items, and it's definitely challenging as well. Do be warned of that going in. It's then topped off with an incredible soundtrack by Anna Managuchi, and it's a complete edition here, so it's throwing in Knives and Wallace as playable characters. For my full review, find that in the pinned comment below. No More Heroes 1 and 2 are back on sale in the UK, EU and Australia exclusively. Seems to always be the case for some reason, but hopefully it will at least drop in the US and Canada now over the next few days. If you are locked to that region, maybe add it to that wish list. Now I reviewed both of these games, but I absolutely adore them. Find my reviews in the pinned comment down below, but they are cult classics that let you take control of Travis Touchdown, competing in what is essentially the assassination leagues. Now in the first, explore, complete kind of odd jobs around town and win at the association by ranking #1 with your beam katana. So yeah, basically beat the crap out of all of the other assassins. In the second, the same thing, but now you're ranked 51 and it's time to get back on top. The big difference with our second entry is it removed the open world element of the game and it throws you straight into war. It's all wrapped up then with a quality, if definitely weird, sense of humor. And yeah, both games in new low price, 70% off each. Wilmot's Warehouse then is a hidden gem for sure. 50% off matches the low price, but we do not see sales on this gem all that often. Now the gameplay loop is simply an idea, but it gets challenging real quick. Basically you manage a warehouse, so you must quickly stack these blocks of items as they are delivered, but but you've got to remember the layout because quickly the customer facing portal will open and you must deliver items to them as quickly as possible. Then more deliveries arrive and it becomes more and more challenging. Throw in local multiplayer support as well, and it's actually one of my favorite multiplayer experiences. It's just unique and it for sure pushes the brain power. Top of that as well, soundtrack super chill. Mato Anomalies is back with a new low price, 90% off. Now this game dropped in price real quick actually, but clearly it's inspired by Persona and of course doesn't reach those heights, but yes, it is still a really good concept. It blends turn-based combat with a dual world narrative and players jump between two realities, one as a detective in the tangible world and another as a ninja in a digital realm. The central plot unfolds around a murder investigation, and yes, it definitely has its flaws, there's no question about it. You know, the world feels kind of small at times, locations are definitely repetitive, and there are even some performance issues at points, but overall the universe actually hooked me enough, so much that I actually hope we do get a sequel, because I'd love to see more from it in the future. And that is the video done. Will you be checking out any of these games? Let me know in the comments. If you do have any recommendations of your own right now as usual, let us know. It's a big sale, would love to hear them. With that, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, or at least daily very soon again. And I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.